U.S. Election 2024, your simple guide to the presidential vote. Americans are gearing up to head to the polls this November to elect the next U.S. president, an event that will be closely scrutinized around the globe. Alongside the presidential election, voters will also select members of Congress, whose roles are crucial in shaping laws that significantly impact American life. When is the U.S. presidential election? The 2024 election is scheduled for Tuesday, November 5, 2024. The victorious candidate will serve a 4-year term in the White House, beginning in January 2025. While the president can enact certain laws independently, most legislation requires collaboration with Congress. On the international front, the U.S. president wields considerable power in representing the nation and directing foreign policy. Who are the candidates and how are they nominated? The two primary political parties select their presidential candidates through a series of state primaries and caucuses, allowing voters to express their preferences for party leadership in the general election. In the Republican Party, former President Donald Trump secured overwhelming support, becoming the official nominee at a party convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He selected Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his vice presidential running mate. For the Democrats, Vice President Kamala Harris entered the race following President Joe Biden's withdrawal, with no other Democrats contesting against her. Her running mate is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Several independent candidates are also in the race, including the notable Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is the nephew of former President John F. Kennedy. However, he suspended his campaign in late August and endorsed Trump. What do Democrats and Republicans stand for? Democrats, the Liberal Party champions civil rights, a comprehensive social safety net, and initiatives aimed at combating climate change. Republicans, the Conservative Party, also known as the GOP Grand Old Party, advocates for lower taxes, a reduction in government size, gun rights, and stricter immigration and abortion policies. How does the U.S. presidential election work? The election process doesn't simply rely on the nationwide popular vote. Instead, both candidates strive to win contests across the 50 states. Each state is allocated a specific number of electoral college votes based on its population, totaling 538 votes. To win, a candidate must secure 270 electoral votes or more. Most states operate under a winner-takes-all system, meaning the candidate with the highest number of votes in that state receives all of its electoral college votes. With most states leaning toward one party, candidates focus on about a dozen battleground or swing states, where either candidate could claim victory. It's important to note that a candidate can win the national popular vote like Hillary Clinton did in 2016 and still lose the election through the electoral college system. Who can vote in the U.S. presidential election? Most U.S. citizens aged 18 or older are eligible to vote. Every state, except North Dakota, requires voters to register before casting their ballots. Each state has its own registration process and deadlines. U.S. citizens living abroad can register to vote and request an absentee ballot by filling out the Federal Postcard Application (FPCA). Who else is being elected in November? While the presidential race garners the majority of attention, voters will also elect new members of Congress, the legislative body responsible for lawmaking. The House of Representatives has all 435 seats up for election, while 30 for Senate seats are contested. When will we know who has won the election? Typically, the election winner is announced on election night, but in 2020, it took several days to tally all the votes. The period following the election is known as the transition phase, especially if a new president is elected. This timeframe allows the incoming administration to appoint cabinet members and prepare for their term. The official inauguration ceremony for the president takes place in January at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.